2 years ago, I discovered a boring brown moth on a purple flowered weed that I'd been pulling out of my garden. I discovered it was the Toadflax moth that lay its eggs and ate toadflax. Therefore, I let it grow. These have been up all summer and are slowly dying out, but they've seeded. And so now we have some smaller ones popping up. And what do we see here? Another caterpillar. Another caterpillar. The longer I spend with these plants, the more my eyes train themselves to notice the particular patterns. Some quirk of human nature are habit of pattern matching. Because I'll be seeing these speckled tummies and yellow bodies all summer long. Also, Doug is here. Hey, Doug. It's not just the pattern matching that helps. It's the slowing down and paying attention. It's when you learn the name of a plant that you see it more often and you see it separate from the ones next to it. It's easier to find a caterpillar if you know, well, these are the branches that this particular one might live on. This pattern matching knack is similar to how I learned to hunt for sea glass. I don't think that's something that can be taught. I think you just have to walk for a couple of hours and until you get the habit of going, hey, there you are. Another part of it is learning where they're going to be. I've never seen them on much else if they're given the option. And so if I'm looking at a whole collection of green, I'm not looking at the herb robert, I'm not looking at the columbine. So if one part is practice and another part is the knowledge of where and when they're going to be, you won't find them in the winter. The final part is just giving yourself the time, spending that time next to the plant. Once you've found one, you're going to find more. I only noticed the big one in the distance, and then I didn't realise it, but there were several more waiting with it. You pointing? So if it's one part practice and one part knowledge of where they're gonna be, knowing that chances are they'll be munching on the toadflax as opposed to columbine or can't remember. So if it's one part practice, getting the eye for it, and another part knowledge of knowing where they're going to be, it's not going to be on the petty spurge, it's not going to be on the wood sorrel. Oh look, there's another one. I think the final part is just spending enough time with the plant, enough time outside, because once you notice one and you stop to look for more of them, that's when you see the second and third. As well as, if it wasn't for the requirement of playing fetch in the garden each lunchtime, I wouldn't have been out here in the first place. I'd have just hung the laundry and gone back inside. So really, my assistant over there is the one teaching me about caterpillars. I wasn't a gardener until we bought this house. The previous residents had such a beautiful garden and koi pond and all these bushes coming up the sides that I couldn't not take care of it. The fish didn't stay, which let me leave the pond for wildlife, and that has been incredibly successful with the newts and the frogs and the dogs. The dog also here, he's pretty great. And I don't really add much. There's nothing in this flower bed that I've planted that's survived anyway. It's just kind of pull out anything that looks like a grass or a spurge or is running a bit too rampant. More of a guardian or a steward of the garden than its architect. Because the caterpillars love this so much, when I cut it down, trim it back, I end up leaving it here so they can all crawl off it. I do the same when I take the weeds out of the pond. Leave them on the side, comb through it for critters a second time, and then by the time I've left it on the ground, land critters have crawled in. I have to remove them from the tangle. I brought a couple of the caterpillars in to observe them, and oh my goodness, they just munch so fast. They are constantly eating and pooping. When I was trying to film this one munch, I didn't realise until I reviewed the footage after, I'd actually caught the other one doing a poo. They were also constantly pooing for the time I had them in. There it is. Yeah, just embarrassing. Like, you eat there, man. What are you doing?